Bank of America just put an advisory to short the S&P 500, stating a global shift away from U.S. equities. So, and then we looked at the bond degrading of credit rating when it comes to the bond market, and there's been a lot of talk of that. So, is the era of USA exceptionalism over, and how will that impact the future of the stock market?
Exceptionalism maybe for the country or our credit rating. The equity side, no. Like, one of our best companies hasn't even went public yet. Like, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Palantir, is kicking ass too. So you have OpenAI, Palantir, Anderil. That's a big three. That's like 3 LeBrons that we got that's not even IPO'd yet. While Nvidia is going to pick up the bag in Saudi Arabia, and they got approved for the non-Blackwell derivative to go to China. Yeah. I love everyone at Bank of America. Shout out to everyone in Charlotte. Shorting the bond market would be a better move. I think shorting U.S. equities, that's one of the few assets that we have that are still going in our favor, is a tremendous mistake. And I think they may have put out this advisory a little bit around the April drought, which is it's a great lesson in not making emotional decisions in a momentary drop. Because if I told you, hey, in a year or a year and a half, the company that is altering technology in Silicon Valley is going public, why would I want to short that market? To me, it makes no sense. So no, I would not short the market at this time or any time in the future, especially with the like Microsoft, OpenAI, Nvidia. Elon even made a declaration, hey, I'm going back to sleeping in the conference rooms. Now, when listen, I want to be clear. When he's focused and off the other stuff, and he's in the conference room and sleeping next to the server, Elon's a different entrepreneur. I would not want to bet against that man. So what he had to talk with the little baby mamas, hey, I'm locked in the next 100 days. Fellas, you got to have a talk once in a while. It's hard to bet against Tesla until then. Another great company, Starlink, is publicly traded. I would not want to go against that and go against the trend of betting against us.
I'm glad you said that. I 100% agree with you. I almost thought, like, is he ain't going? I'm glad you did that. Nope. Because when it comes to innovation, especially in the equities market, I mean, the leader is clear. We can see it from Nvidia. We can see it from Microsoft. I'm glad you brought up OpenAI and what they're going to be doing, and now in consumer tech, which is going to be a huge market for them, and going to cripple a couple of other companies that we might mention later on tonight. But yeah, I mean, you got to throw Meta in that conversation, sure. Obviously from a data standpoint, but also from a broadband standpoint, and what they're doing in terms of technology. We talked about the W project a few months ago, but you don't want to forget that, right? What Starlink is doing in the air, Meta is doing underground, underneath the water. So innovation is still there. Palantir, you talked about. Biotech is still is a space that we're innovating in. I would not. Again, history shows us what the United States equities market will do over the course of time. Definitely, I would not be shorting it.
Yes, and even with the debt being at a record high, we have to look at some of these countries like kingdoms. I don't think it's fair to just say that their companies inside, like the revenue that they're making is higher than the GDP of some countries, like major countries.
Major.
So like, even you talking about the W project, that used to be reserved for hedge funds. Meta is the hedge fund. If you own all the cable for all the connectivities, that's a huge asset to have for sure. So no, 0%.
And then top of that, to add to it, if you look at the connectivity of that, look at where it's located, right? It's running from North America, going around the coast of South Africa, and then it's going through India too. So that's a key component to infrastructure, especially from the AI standpoint, where data centers will be put internationally. What's the connectivity to them? You got to watch those key steps and start putting the dots together.
Yeah.
For sure.